All right. I think everything looks like it's working. Just double checking. All right. Hello. Good evening. How are we doing tonight? Right. Thank you for joining me. I am Maureen, and this is Vinyasa Flow Level 1-2. We're going to begin in just a moment. I want to make sure everyone can get situated, join me, grab your mat, or if you're practicing just on a carpet, totally fine as well. For today, if you have 2 yoga blocks at home, grab those 2. You may also want to have a blanket. If you don't have a yoga blanket, a towel would work, something that may make your knees more comfortable, something that you can possibly sit on. Keep that in mind. And if you don't have yoga blocks, if you have something similar size, shape that's not too heavy, not too uncomfortable, because I'll offer an option to lay on them, you can use alternative props. And I will also just present the class whether you have them or not. So I'll offer options to use them if you have them, and if you don't, then don't worry about it. So let's begin on our mats. I'm going to have us begin on our backs today. So if you have those 2 blocks, I'll demonstrate a way to set up a heart opener. And if you don't have the blocks, you can just begin laying onto your back in whatever position is comfortable. You can also, if you want to create, what we're doing is getting a little bit of a chest opener, a little bit of a supported back bend. You can do something similar by rolling up a blanket, a towel, or something, and then just placing it behind the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. So just around where your middle back is, maybe if you have just something small, something thin like a blanket, just up a little higher. So it just kind of lifts the chest. If you do have your 2 blocks, I'm going to demonstrate the setup for that. So 1 block, highest height at the back of the mat. The other block, the middle height. So turn this way and leave about a foot of space between the 2. So this one is going to support the middle back. This one is going to support the back of the skull. And take your time getting into the shape. So if you've never done this before, it may take a while to figure out where the blocks need to go. I'll demonstrate. So I'm going to lay back here, finding my middle back. So I need to adjust a bit so I know where that is. And then once I found that, lay the head back, and then I may need to kind of adjust where this one is. So that is supporting the back of my head. It's keeping my neck long, so I don't want my chin drawing into my chest. I don't want my head being thrown back. I want to make sure this feels supported, especially this one. The placement here, if you're finding the right spot, it should just lift your chest open to the ceiling. It should feel nice. So I'll give you a moment to set that up if you're still adjusting your props. And then once you do find that right position, you can position your legs in whatever way feels right. So a nice, easier way to begin would be to keep the feet on the mat, knees bent. You can also stretch your legs forward if that feels nice. Just relax the legs onto the mat. And another option too, if you want to bring the feet together, knees out, to start to open into the hips. That may feel nice for some, it may not feel nice for others. So find a shape that works for you. And then arms just resting near your sides. Make sure the shoulders feel relaxed. So palms down, palms up, whatever works for you. And then once you're settled in this position, close your eyes and then just feel your breath traveling in and out of your body. So we're going to be working into some back bending today. We're also going to be doing some twists and side stretches. So starting this position with a supported back bend gives us a chance to feel the curvature along the back body, to feel kind of an opening up of the back body. So since we can't see that part of our body, we don't tend to bring as much focus to it. So as you lay here in this position and you begin to deepen the breath, make it a little fuller as the breath moves in and out through the nose, feel with the inhales that that chest can just rise higher up towards the ceiling and expand open a little bit more. And just take a few more breaths here where you are. And then either staying where you are, or if you'd like, switch the way your legs are positioned if that feels more comfortable. Feet can come onto the mat. On your inhale, begin to stretch your arms all the way up and overhead. If you're just lying on your back with nothing underneath you, go ahead and just kind of clasp your thumbs. Hook the thumbs together. Or you can grab a hold of one wrist. And if you're on the blocks, you can do the same thing. Or if it feels nice to bend your elbows and stack your forearms and maybe try to bring the arms a little further overhead behind you. And if the shoulders are open enough, maybe even trying to bring the arms a little closer to the ground overhead. And then however you're crossing your arms or hooking your thumbs or grabbing your wrist, switch. So stack the other forearm on top, grab the opposite wrist, or hook the other thumb on top. And then take another couple of breaths and stretch really far back. Really lift the chest open. And then unclasp. Take your arms slowly down by your sides, just resting your arms next to you. And then if you are on blocks, go ahead and lift your head slowly off of the back block. You're going to start to shift to your side. So making your way over to one hip and forearm. And then if you have those blocks under you, move them out of the way. You just set them to the side or back of your mat. And then go ahead and come to lay down. So everyone's going to come to lay onto their backs with nothing underneath now. So if you have that blanket under the shoulders, go ahead and move that out of the way. And then once you're on your back, step your feet onto the mat, knees bent. Then take your arms into a little cactus shape. Yeah, so bent elbows, arms overhead, backs of the hands resting on the mat. Step your feet a little bit wider and then let your knees just kind of drop side to side for a moment. And now once your knees come through center, reach forward, draw your knees into your chest. So now you're rounding the back body the other way. You're just going to sway for a beat. And then let's take a gentle twist. Drop your bent knees to the right. And then let the arms either stretch open into a T shape or you can do cactus arms again. And let your gaze fall towards the left, away from your knees. And then bringing your knees back through center. You're going to take the twist on the other side. Knees drop all the way to the left. And then gaze falls to the right. And when you're ready, bringing your knees back through center. Hug your knees into your chest. And then either roll to your side or rock back and forth. If it feels nice, do that maybe about 4 or 5 more times, just massaging all the way up and down the length of the spine. And then when you're ready, make your way all the way upright. Coming forward to your hands and your knees, you're going to start in a tabletop position. So some may prefer having a blanket, a towel, or something under the knees. You can also fold over your mat if the floor beneath you is a little too hard. So once you're in tabletop, let's start cat and cow. Take an inhale, draw the heart ahead. Exhale, press into the ground, round the entire back, body, head, and the neck hangs. Do that with your breath a few times. Cat and cow, inhale and exhale. This is also known as Vidalasana. A nice way to start to move the body a bit to connect with the breath. Then coming back to neutral, just on all fours. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. Go ahead and lift your right knee and step your right foot to the side. Let the toes point forward. Let the arch of the foot be right across from your left knee. Left knee stays under the hip. Walk your hands all the way back and come upright, bringing your hands to your hips. And then level off the hips. If the right one is kind of inching up higher than the left, release it down and then keep the shoulders above the hips and lengthen through both sides of the waist. And then extend your left arm over to the left. Turn the palm up, inhale, stretch that arm up to the ceiling. Get a nice big lengthy stretch along this left side. Maybe take it further by sweeping that arm over the extended leg any amount. Maybe take it further still if you want to go a little bigger. Slide your right hand down the leg any amount. Parigasana gate pose. It's a big side stretch. Keep the chest open and try to not let this shoulder creep too high to the ear. Draw it down to the back. And then with your inhale, come upright. With your exhale, bring yourself back down onto your hands. Bring your right knee back underneath your hip and switch sides. Step the left foot to the left. Point the toes forward, sealing the foot. Once you're set up, walk your hands back. Come up to your half kneeling position. And then let that left hip release down enough so it's even with the right. And then upper body lifted as the right arm extends, palm up. Stretch that arm nice and high to the ceiling. Feel yourself get a little bit taller through the upper body. And then maybe take it a little further into the side stretch. Maybe just tip over that leg. And then maybe go further. If it feels nice to extend that hand down the leg, great. If it feels too much and it feels like it's just shortening this left side, keep it at the hip. Keep it a little higher if you need to. Take it a little further down if you need. And then let your inhale lift you upright, hands to hips, and then leaning forward, bring your hands back down, and then draw that knee under the hip. Once you're back to all fours, take another little brief cat and cow for a moment, just inhaling and exhaling. And then take an inhale, come to neutral. And then go ahead and step your right foot to the back of the mat, coming onto the ball of the foot. Seal it firmly without letting the hips lift up. Step the left foot back to meet it in plank. And then holding plank for 2 more breaths. If this gets to be too much, take the knees down. You can always modify plank. You can always adjust, take breaks, modify any poses or skip them. Start to look forward. Now begin to lean forward so that your shoulders go past your wrists. If the knees are down, maybe you keep them down, maybe you lift them. Bend your elbows straight back, take a slow descent, chaturanga all the way down. Once you're there, stretch the toes back. Shrug the shoulders, take an inhale, pull forward to cobra. Exhale, lower down. Now do that again, get even more lengthy through the upper body. Push the ground down and back as you drag the chest forward, extending a little higher. Exhale, back down. Once again, another cobra, just to press to hands and knees. Inhale, push to the ground, come back to hands and knees. Once you're to hands and knees, hips right above the knees, wrists under the shoulders, step the left foot back, coming under the ball of the foot. And then start to feel the core engage as you push the ground away with both hands. Step your right foot back to meet the left foot. So you're plank again. Take 2 breaths here. Once again, knees can come back down if you need to. Now, pulling the hips up, Press the thighs back, exhale, slowly come to down dog. And then pedal the feet. Take a few breaths, just walk the legs out a bit. And then settle the feet. Maybe keep the knees a little bit bent. Maybe pull the hips higher and press the thighs further back. Begin to walk your hands back, back, back to your feet. Come to a forward fold the back of your mat. Maybe clasp your elbows and just hang, release the head down. And then arms release. Bend your knees. You're going to roll up to standing. Take your time. Let your head be the last thing to arrive. Roll the shoulders back and down. Once you're upright, stand tall at the back of your mat. Take an inhale, stretch your arms wide and reach to the ceiling. Let the gaze follow as you look up and reach a little higher. On your exhale, open the arms out, hinge at the hips, and come all the way back down to a fold. Take an inhale, bring your hands either to shins. If you're very open to your hamstrings, you can be touching the ground, but try to not punch forward. Take your hands as high as you need to feel that your spine is long and you're pulling ahead. Take another inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold into the legs. Soften the knees, walk your hands forward. You're going to come back to downward facing dog. Once you've walked your hands forward enough, step your feet together. Take a narrow stance with your down dog. Stretch your right leg straight back behind you, three-legged dog. You're going to step the foot between the hands. So draw the knee into the chest, shift forward, and then bring the foot to you. Maybe it got stuck, maybe it's back here. Grab it, boost it. You can also take the blocks under the hands and let yourself come a little gentler into the lunge. Once you do get the foot forward enough, so the ankle is under the knee, take the back left knee down, uncurl the toes, walk your hands to your front thigh. You're going to start this kneeling lunge by pressing into the thigh and lifting up away from it without leaning back. Just try to come a little bit more upright. So the front of the pelvis comes up a bit more. So it almost feels like you're trying to tuck under. And that way it gets a little more of a stretch in the back leg and not so much a shortening of the lower back. Bring your hands to your hips. Feel that your pelvis is neutral. Lift it up manually if you need to. And then maybe bend that front knee just a little further forward. And then when you're ready, take your hands off of your hips and stretch your arms out and up and come into Anjaneyasana. You can look forward, you can look up if you like. Take another inhale in the pose. On your exhale, lean over your right thigh, bring the hands down, curl the back toes, lift the knee. Just step back to down dog for now. And then bring the feet together. Take an inhale, mixing your left leg all the way back. So you can lift up higher off of your right heel and send the left leg further to the ceiling. When you're ready, bring it forward. Around the back, pull it through. So if you need a visual using blocks, once you get the foot maybe in a bit, maybe, you can take hands to blocks and walk it the rest of the way up. Blocks can also be here. So once you get the foot where it needs to go, lower the back knee, uncurl the toes. Walk your hands to that left thigh and then press away from it. So maybe soften the bend of the front knee for a moment and then see if you can find that kind of lift to the front of the pelvis. So it doesn't feel like you're tipping over the front thigh. You're creating a little bit of space between the top of the thigh and this left hip. And then hands hugging the hips together. Keep this lift, keep the navel drawn back to the spine. So pull the belly in a bit, and then you let the knees sink forward. Once you have the legs all set up, stretch the arms out, palms flip to the ceiling as you inhale, reach up. Notice if the shoulders hunch, try to draw them down the back. Try to lift a little higher, take another inhale. With your exhale, take it all the way back down, hands plant. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, downward facing dog. Now look forward between your hands. Maybe you do a step or a hop. Maybe you just walk the feet all the way forward to the front of the mat. Once you get there, inhale, come up halfway, hands to shins or fingertips to ground. Exhale, folding down. Arms stretch out wide. Inhale, press all the way up to stand now as you reach and look up. Then exhale and bring the hands to the heart. Okay, and let's move once through slow Surya Namaskar A, and then we'll move on to Surya C. So standing tall at the top of the mat, feet parallel. With your inhale, circle your arms wide, reach and stand tall, maybe look up, maybe touch hands. Exhale, open the arms as you forward fold, dive back down. Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway to Ardha Uttanasana. Bending your knees, hands on the mat, step back to plank pose. From your plank pose, look forward. Start to shift your shoulders past your wrists. Knees up or down, exhale, chaturanga to the mat, uncurl the toes. Push to the ground, inhale, come forward to cobra. Maybe stay there. Maybe press all the way to up dog, straight arms. On your exhale, press back to down dog. You take 3 breaths once you're in downward facing dog. Then shift your gaze forward to the front of your mat. Lift your heels, bend your knees, walk, step, or maybe pull the hips up, hop. Then heart forward, inhale, flat back. Exhale, folding over the legs. Arms wide, inhale, rise all the way up. Hands back to the heart as you exhale. Okay, moving through Surya Namaskar C. Standing at the top of the mat, if you have blocks handy, if that helps you to step forward. On your inhale, float your arms to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale, bowing forward over the legs. Inhale, rise halfway up, fingertips to ground or hands to shins. Exhale, moving through the vinyasa. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot what we were doing. Step your right foot back to the back of your mat, high lunge. Lower the knee down. Uncurl the toes, inhale, Anjaneyasana. On your exhale, now lean forward, hands to the ground. Bring yourself to plank. Curl the back toes, lift the knees, step the foot to the back of the mat. Look forward, shift, take chaturanga. Maybe knees come down. Maybe you go all the way to the mat. Maybe you pause halfway, come right into cobra or up dog. Exhale, make your way to down dog. Once you are there, inhale, send your right leg straight back where it is. Exhale, pull it through, step it forward, wiggle it, boost it, hands to blocks, back knee down. Uncurl the toes, inhale, right up to Anjaneyasana. Exhale, lean forward over that leg. Plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Now look ahead. Exhale, step your back foot to the front of your mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, folding in again. Arms out, inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's move right to the second side. Arms out wide, inhale, stand tall, reach. Exhale, forward fold, take it back down. Inhale, halfway, heart forward. Bend the knees, hands on the mat, left foot now steps all the way back to a high lunge, knee down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, kneeling lunge, rise, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, forward, hands down, curl the back toes, lift the knee, step the right foot to plank. From plank, look forward, take that shift. Chaturanga all or halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, send that left leg straight back. As you exhale, step it through. Take your time. Give yourself an extra breath if you need to. Back knee down, inhale, come up into Anjaneyasana. And then with your exhale, lean over the front thigh. Tuck the right toes, lift the knee, right foot steps forward on the exhale. On the inhale, rise halfway up. Forward fold as you exhale, back down. Arms wide, inhale, come to stand. And then as you exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Wonderful. I think we're all probably a little bit warmer now. And take a moment. We're going to continue flowing a bit. We're going to build onto that Surya Namaskar C, add a little bit extra. So standing when you're ready, top of the mat. So you can take feet hips distance if feet together is a little too much for the lower back. So find a stance that's comfortable for you. And then take a moment, notice the shoulders. Notice the length of the torso. Try to find equal length in the front and back body and the sides of the waist. When you're ready to move through the flow, inhale, float your arms, reach for the ceiling. On your exhale, bowing forward, coming back down. Inhale, rise halfway, long spine. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step the right foot all the way back again. Knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, fold over. Curl the back toes, lift the knee. Step back to plank pose. From here, look forward. Shift your shoulders past your wrists. Exhale, chaturanga all the way down this time. Once you're down, uncurl your toes. Stretch your forearms forward in front of you. Come into Sphinx pose. Notice if the forearms go way here, bring them back so that they're right under your shoulders. So if they're too far back, try to find 90-degree angles. Press the ground down, lift the head up, draw the shoulders back, bring your chest forward. Feel that curve along the middle back. Try to keep the lower back a little more out of it. On your exhale, lower the chest. Bring your hands back by your rib cage. Now, wrists are under elbows. Either cobra or inhale, upward facing dog. Find that middle back curve again. On your exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Once you are there, inhale, send your right leg all the way back. On your exhale, bring it forward, step it through to a high lunge. Back knee down, untuck the toes, inhale, Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. From here, exhale, lean forward. Now plant just your left hand. Float your right arm forward. Inhale, twist to the right. Reach that right hand straight up to the ceiling. Stay here if you like. Bottom hand can also be in a block, or maybe curl the back toes. Lift the knees, straighten the leg without jutting the foot to the side or hunching forward. So try to get a little bit more extension through the upper body as you press the back thigh up and twist further. Hand may need to be in a block for that, or you can be on fingertips to go a little higher. Take another inhale in the twist. On your exhale, forward fold, hand down, look ahead, inhale. Now on your exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway up, arm. Exhale, fold over the legs. Arms wide, inhale, rise to the top. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Moving through the second side. Inhale, circle the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, fold back down. Heart forward, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Bending the knees, hands to the mat. Now left foot steps all the way back. Knee down, uncurl the toes. Kneeling lunge, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold in, hands down. Tuck the back toes. Lift the knees, step back to plank. From there, look forward. Take that shift. Chaturanga, once again, all the way down. We're going to take another Sphinx pose. Uncurl the toes. Forearms come forward. Elbows under the shoulders. Press the palms and the forearms down. Reach the top of the head up to the ceiling. Shoulders draw towards the back of your mat. Chest pulls forward between your upper arms. One more inhale. As you exhale, lean forward to the ground. Draw the hands back by your wrists. Press down, inhale, rise to cobra or go to upward facing dog. On your exhale, return to down dog. On your inhale, left leg extends back behind you. Bend the knee, pull it in, step it through, high lunge. Back knee down, uncurl the toes, inhale, healing lunge. Exhale, fold forward. Right hand comes to the ground, maybe it comes to a block. Inhale, left arm extends. Exhale, twist to the left. Reach nice and high. Keep the chest open, draw the shoulders back. Maybe you stay here with the right knee down, maybe that knee comes up. Press the thigh up, Maybe draw the inner thighs together and twist a little further towards that side. Maybe reach a little higher with the top hand. Take another inhale. Exhale, release from the twist. Move blocks aside, look forward, steady yourself. Soften your right knee on the exhale, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding down. Arms out, inhale, rise to the top. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Take a moment, slow down the breath. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. And then when you're ready, release your hands. All right, I'm going to move these aside. So stand to the center of your mat now. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your feet into a wide stance. Right. Once your stance is wide enough, you should be able to fit the length of one of your legs between your feet. Bend your right knee. Then turn from the hips up. You're going to set up for warrior two. Point the toes straight ahead. Heel your left toes in 45. Slide it a little bit further back. See that you're aligned heel to arch, front heel to back arch. Bend that front knee generously. And then notice the upper body. Try to avoid leaning over the front thigh or twisting toward it. Try to lengthen through all four sides of the waist and then send the arms out wide so you're coming into warrior two. And then look forward. Continue breathing. Take care that this front right knee isn't moving past the ankle, but try to get it right on top with a nice strong bend. And then feel the strength of your back leg. Feel the back heel pressing all the way into your mat. Let's move in and out for a moment. Straighten your front leg as you inhale. Reach the arms to the ceiling, go taller. Exhale, open the arms, bend the knee forward. Moving with your breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale once again, arms up, straight leg. Keep the right leg straight. Open the arms out. Look at your right hand. As you reach your right hand forward, push your front right hip into the back hip. Let this one lift a bit. So you're now tipping over your front leg. As you reach a little further out, try to gain more length along that bottom right side. Then you're going to take your hand down, left arm up, triangle pose Trikonasana. Make sure your bottom hand is high enough. Maybe it's on the shin. Maybe you're using a block outside of it to give yourself a little bit more lift. You can use two blocks if you need to. And if the hand is on the shin, make sure you're not pushing the shin down. You're guiding your calf muscle towards your shin and your shin into your hand so that it feels like you're working the legs a little bit more and you're keeping this front knee from locking. Maybe look at the top hand. As you press into the feet, take an inhale, rise back to stand. Keeping your front leg straight, take your left hand to your hip. Turn the right palm up. Inhale, reverse your triangle. Reach that right hand high to the ceiling, and then maybe behind you as you feel that stretch along this whole front right side. See if you can soften your left shoulder down, soften your right shoulder. Now from reverse triangle, keep everything the same except start to bend your right knee. Bend it deeply, just like you would do for warrior two. Once you have that deep of a bend, stay here, reverse warrior, or if you'd like, move deeper into it, slide the left hand down the leg. Don't go so far that you feel like you can't breathe anymore. So take a look down, maybe keep it at the hip. From your reverse warrior, inhale, rise. Back upright warrior two, look forward. On the exhale, float the hands down to the ground, come to a high lunge. From here, maybe step to down dog, skip the vinyasa, maybe step back to plank, move through the flow. If you're going there, move with your breath, take your time, one breath per movement, and then eventually we'll all come back to down dog. From down dog, look forward. Either walk the feet to the hands, step, step, or float the feet up. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold back down. Arms out, inhale, come to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, take on the other side. Step your feet back wide once again. Find a nice long stance, same distance. Bring the hands to hips. Now left knee bending. Turn from the hip socket, knee and toes point forward. Back foot peels in. So heel should be further back than the toes. You want to create that true 45-degree angle with the entire leg, not just the foot. So make sure the whole leg lines up. And then make sure that left knee bends straight forward, maybe tracking over the second and third toe. That's where its aim is. Knee above ankle. And then upper body lifts and opens, arms extend wide. Virabhadrasana 2. And then keeping the chest nice and open, shoulders relaxed. Gazing forward past your left fingertips. See if you can find an even stronger bend of that front knee. If you need to widen the stance so it won't go past the ankle, take the stance wider. Let's move with the breath. In and out, front leg straightens, arms reach for the ceiling. Exhale, open it back out, second warrior. Inhale with your breath, lift up. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior 2. Do it a couple more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior 2 once more. Inhale, arms up, front leg straightens. Keep the legs the same, arms reach out. Look forward, reach that arm nice and long over the foot, and then take it down, shin or block or 2 to the outside. If you're doing blocks, we're going to go outside the foot so it doesn't force you to collapse inward. It lets the chest open a bit more. Bottom hand as high as you need. For some, it's going to be pretty high. For others, it may be further to the ground. But if it's starting to force you to kind of turn over the front leg, take it a little higher so that the chest remains open. The legs are engaged, the feet are dragging energetically together. And then notice if you're kind of punching forward, try to lengthen the underside of the waist and reach the top of the head forward so you feel your spine very long. And then from your Trikonasana, feet pressed, inhale, come upright. Take your right hand to your hip, turn the left palm up. Keep the hand on the hip for the reverse triangle so you can work to find more lift and length. And then lean back as far as you can go comfortably. So don't force yourself to get too far back. You want to keep stretching up high to gain a little bit more length. And then see if you can soften both shoulders. Very slowly from your reverse triangle, start to just bend your front knee. Slowly come into a reverse warrior. Maybe hand stays where it is. For some, that's going to be best. For others, you're taking it deeper. Keep that hand a little bit lighter though, so it doesn't press on the leg. Keep the front knee bending, chest open. Take another inhale. When you're ready, come back upright. Warrior 2. Pause here, look forward on your next exhale. Float the hands all the way down. Maybe you're just stepping straight back to down dog. Maybe you're taking the vinyasa. You decide. More movement, less movement. Add what you need. Subtract what you don't. Take breaks if you need to. Throw in a child's pose. From down dog, look forward, lift your heels, soften the knees, walk, step, or float forward. Once you're there, halfway inhale. Exhale, folding over the legs. Arms out, inhale, rise to the top. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Step your feet together in front of your mat. Feet are centered. So for this, I'm going to turn to face you for a moment. So once your feet are centered, you want to keep a little space between the heels so the toes don't turn out. Then you're going to bend your knees and come into chair pose. Utkatasana, sit the hips back and down, arms go forward and up, like you're about to sit into a chair that you think is behind you, but you're not quite sure where it is. So keep going lower, keep moving the weight into the heels, sitting the hips a little lower, lifting the chest a little higher, look between the hands. Press to stand, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. We're going to take chair again. We're going to add a little twist to it. Take an inhale, float the arms out and up, sit back into that chair. Keep low, draw the hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the chest up, twist to your right. On your exhale, lean forward. Try to get the elbow to nestle either between the knees or cross it all the way to the outside of the right knee. Press the hands together, spin the chest open to the right, draw the shoulders back, doing the head back. On your exhale, forward fold, release all the way down to center. Take an inhale, come to Ardha Uttanasana, stretch forward. Exhale, fold back down. Weight in the heels, inhale, come through chair pose again. Draw the hands to the heart as you exhale. Keep the hips where they are, twist over to the left. Lean forward, elbow hooks between or outside. Press the hands, spin the chest open further. Maybe take another breath, see if you can really squeeze the palms together. Keep the inner thighs drawing close. And then exhale, forward fold. Walk your feet a little wider. So take a nice forward fold. I'm going to turn forward again. Technical difficulties here. All right. So staying in that forward fold at the top of your mat. Go ahead and inhale and rise halfway up, hard forward. On your exhale, bending your knees. Maybe vinyasa, maybe down dog. So skip the flow if you need to, or give yourself that movement. Take the vinyasa. From here, look forward, shift back to plank. You're going to lower to your belly. So leaning forward, take chaturanga, knees up or down. Make your way down to your mat. Take a moment if you need to kind of shift back a bit if you're too far forward. So I'm going to have you come back to Sphinx for a moment here. Set up in that same way, so elbows under the shoulders. Now you're going to bend your right knee. So maybe this is fine. You're just going to work to pull the foot a little further without lifting the right hip. You want to keep that right hip where it is. Maybe you're going to lift your left forearm and angle it 45 degrees. Lean into it a bit more. Reach your right arm back and grab the inside of the foot. Once again, try to not lift your right hip up. Try to keep it anchored. Maybe if you have the foot pulled further towards you, you can also loop a strap or a towel, something to catch the foot. So this may be great. This is, you're feeling that hip flexor stretch. You may need to take it further if you're very bendy. You need to rotate the fingers forward and press the top of the foot down. That may not be for everyone. Try to keep the chest pulling ahead. So this is Ardha Uttanasana. Very slowly, if you have the foot, release it, stretch it back. Bring the forearms down, take an inhale. Exhale, go ahead and stretch your arms forward and cross your arms. Take a little brief pause here. You can let the forehead rest. And then when you're ready, lift back up. You're going to return to Sphinx. So forearms are once again parallel. Even Sphinx so that the elbows are under the shoulders. And then switching sides. Keep the chest pulling ahead. Bend your left knee. So maybe this is as far as you need to go today. You're just working to try to energetically pull the foot towards your back body. Maybe you lift this form, angle it, and then left arm is going to reach back. You're going to catch the inside of the foot, or you're going to loop whatever prop you're using around the foot to bring it towards you. And then try to not open over this side. Try to keep both hips on the mat as you pull the foot forward. Maybe, great, this is where you need to stay. Some of you may need to go further into it. Notice what's happening with the shoulders. If you're hunching down here, try to press this front forearm down and pull the chest up. If you have the foot, slowly release it. Send the leg back, and then once again, cross the forearms, and just pause here. Maybe let your hips shift a little side to side. Lifting your forehead when you're ready. Place your hands back by your sides. Maybe just press to hands and knees. Maybe come into up dog if you're feeling like you want to kind of come back to that back. Then I'm going to have you come to hands and knees. Shift back. Very slowly start to sit back into a child's pose. Take your knees maybe a little wider, maybe a lot wider. So I'm going to have you extend your arms forward in this child's pose. I'm going to take another little side stretch. I'm going to turn forward to face you so you can see. So arms extended forward, maybe crawl the hands further ahead, look at your hands. Then you're going to walk them over to the right. Just kind of crawling them further to that side. Maybe stack your left hand on top and stretch your hips in the opposite direction towards the back. So you feel a stretch along this side. And then walk your hands back through center, crawling them over to the other side, and then stack opposite hand on top. Press your hips back in the opposite direction. Just extend through that whole side. And then walk your hands back through center. Start to bring them towards you. And then bring yourself to sit for a minute. I'm going to have us come onto our backs. If you have blocks with you, have one of them handy, have one nearby. So I'm going to come onto my back. I'm going to keep one of my blocks just next to my side, next to my hip. So once you are on your back, take a moment to settle your back body onto the mat, and then step your feet onto the mat with your knees bent. So first thing we're going to do, if you have that block, this is optional. It's a nice way to kind of connect to the legs, the inner thighs. You're going to grab the block, place it between the inner thighs. Not between the knees, between the inner thighs. So it's a little bit higher up there, and have it this narrow way. So hopefully if you have something that's not a yoga block, it's about the same kind of size here. So it's going to keep your knees about hips distance, and then your feet will be hips distance. Make sure the heels are close to you. You don't want your feet way far away from you. You want ideally your ankles underneath your knees. All right, so first bridge pose. We're going to do just kind of a gentle one. So if you have the block, give it a squeeze. If you don't, just feel that your inner thighs are drawing together. So it's a similar action whether the block is there or not. Now push into the feet, start to lift your hips up away from the ground. Maybe for this first one, grab the edges of your mat with your arms straight, and then just roll your shoulders under you a bit. So this is a nice, easier way to get into bridge, keeping the arms straight. And then if you aren't gripping that mat,
You can feel like you're pulling it apart at the same time you're pressing your arms down. If you don't have a mat, if you're on a carpet, just push the palms into the carpet. And then press the arms further down, press the feet down. If you have the block, hug it. If you don't, wrap your inner thighs in and down. Same action. Take another inhale. On your exhale, release the grip of the hands. Slowly lower the hips. And if you have the block, take it away. Just set it back to the side where it was. We're going to do another bridge pose. You can do something similar. You can do it with the block again if you like. You can grab the mat, or for this one, maybe you clasp your hands underneath, or you can grab a strap or a towel. So when you are ready, come back into bridge. Heels are closed, feet are parallel. Press the feet down. Once the hips lift enough, wiggle those shoulders under you. Maybe you're gripping your hands this time. If the shoulders don't allow that, grab the mat again, or grab a towel or a strap underneath you, and just push the palms down. And then take another breath, anchor the feet even more, and then feel the chest open. So think of this as more of a chest opener than a back bend. On your next exhale, unclasp, slowly lower down. So at this time in class, if you would like to do an inversion, either right on your mat, or if you have a wall space that you'd like to go to, I'm giving you that chance to do that. If you do not have a wall space, do not want to go all the way upside down, you can consider taking that block, lifting your hips, and sliding the block underneath the hips. So I like to do the middle height. You can do the flattest height if you like. Making sure that it's not in your lower back. So don't put it way up high so that it feels like it's pressing into the lumbar spine. Have it low enough so it's just pretty much under your butt, so the back of your pelvis, and it's just lifting your hips off of the ground. If you don't have a block, you can still just take yourself to the wall, or you can just lay onto your back. Maybe if you have the block under you and you would like to elevate the legs, just bring one foot up and then the other. Make sure your hips are balanced. You can tell right away if they're not. You may need to take the feet down and adjust where the block is. And then if you feel comfortable, extend your legs up to the ceiling. So this is a nice way to go upside down if you don't have a wall space and you do have a block. If you don't have a block and you do have a wall space, take your hips to the wall and do legs up the wall. Or just stay on your mat and lay onto your back and just stretch your legs above the ceiling. So it's just a chance to get upside down for a bit. If there's something more than this you would like, bring yourself to a wall. If you invert on your mat, you're welcome to take any other inversion that you're currently practicing. Just a few breaths here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time upside down. And whatever you are doing, just listen to your breath. Whether you're doing a challenging inversion, something relaxing, whether you're moving a bit or just remaining still, just make sure that your breath is flowing. So if you are at the wall or doing any other inversion, start to make your way down. If, like me, your hips are on a block, legs in the air, go ahead and bend your knees. And then slowly return your feet back to the mat. And then lifting your hips, slide the block out from under, set it aside, and gently let the hips come back down. And take a moment to settle. And if you're on your back, consider taking a brief little happy baby for a moment, just to kind of rock side to side. So I like to grab the outside of my feet. You may prefer to grab the toes. or even the backs of the knees if that's a little easier, if the hamstrings won't allow you to get all the way to the seats. Forcing you up here, try to keep the head and shoulders relaxed, and just rock. When you're ready, release the feet or knees, give yourself a hug, and then if you prefer, rock back and forth to come up, or just make your way to your side and then press upright. I have one more back bend that I'd like to talk us through today. We're going to work with Strasana camel pose. If you have those two blocks, find them. They're going to be near you. For this pose, you're going to begin kneeling. If you have that blanket, that towel for the knees, I find sometimes my knees prefer to have a little cushioning for this pose. You can also take your mat and maybe just fold it over once to give yourself a little more support. For this first one, we're just going to get a little taste of it, not really go into the full pose. We'll have a chance to go a little deeper if you prefer. If you do have your blocks, let's do this first one with the block between the thighs again. So we noticed what that did to our legs. It kept our legs in this nice neutral position in bridge pose. It's going to do the same thing in Ustrasana camel pose. So it makes us connect to our legs a little bit more in our back bend so that they're not an afterthought, they're a full part of the pose. For this, you want your legs to be neutral. You can even, if you want, put a block between the feet so you can hug your ankles to it if that feels nice. For this first one, keep your toes uncurled. And then make sure your hips are right above your knees. If you have the block between the thighs, give a squeeze so that you feel that your legs are active in this pose, so that the hips don't open up. You want the legs neutral. First time we're going to do this, I'm going to have you place your hands onto your rib cage. So thumbs hooked in the back and fingers wrapped around the front of the ribs. Then looking straight ahead, you're going to lift your rib cage up off of your waist. So feel that you just grew a couple of inches taller from the waist up. So you feel that nice lift. It gives you a little bit more space. Try to keep that lift as you take your hands off of your ribs. Bring your hands behind you. Palms right below your lower back. So hands resting pretty much where your sacral spine is. So fingers pointing down. And then once you have that position, roll the shoulders back a bit. Draw the elbows a little closer together. And then press the hands in and slide them down an inch. So it feels like you're moving your lower back down, down, down towards the backs of the knees. Now in order to do this, once you do a taste the first time, keep your hips right above your knees. So resist the urge to tip back or to start to tip the pelvis forward and arch the back body. You want to keep your lower back long. You want to keep your rib cage lifting up off of the waist, especially those back ribs. Looking forward, lift the chest up, pull it away from the ground, draw the shoulders back, and then keep moving your tailbone down as you lift the chest of the sternum up. Maybe let the head lean back. So try to resist gravity so you're not just thrusting yourself back and down. You're pulling up away from the ground to start a gentle coiling in that middle upper back. So you're not going very far this time, just a taste. And then slowly come all the way upright. So this is a back bend, but it starts by a lift up to go over. So you're not just thrusting the lower back, jamming into it, or shifting back off from the knees. Now, if you have the block between the thighs, remove it. Remove the other block that's between there. So for this second one, consider, if you have the blocks, maybe place them by your ankles. Maybe that's a target now you'll go towards. You can also do this again, keeping the hands behind you the whole time. I'll give you the option to take them down and reach back. Maybe this time you curl the toes under. Optional. So if you have the blocks and would like to maybe go back for the blocks, place them by the ankle bones, keeping the legs neutral, keeping the hips above the knees. Bring your hands behind you. So like I said, maybe you're just going to do the same one we did the first time. Hands go down, they slide down a bit, chest pulls up. Lift up so high that you can't go any further, so that makes you start to coil. So maybe you stay there, maybe the hands don't come away from the back body. Maybe you reach slowly back without twisting to the side. Find one block, find the other. Maybe it's just the fingertips. Maybe it's the hands, you're gripping them. Maybe you guide the chest higher. Continue breathing. Make sure you're not throwing your head back. You should still be able to talk while you're doing this. Take it slow. Bring one hand and then the other to the back. If you move them down, come back upright. Right. Let's try one more. If you're done, you're done. If you'd like to go a little further, maybe you go for the feet this time. So this is a big maybe. It may be too big of a back bend for you. Maybe your hands are going to stay here. Maybe you're going to use the blocks again. Maybe if you have a bolster, you can place it over the calves and reach for that. If you would like to try the full pose, it's up to you. Make sure you're not doing something that's going to jam into your lower back. So take it slow. Toes curled under. If you can, you can easily go for the heels without the toes curled under. Please, by all means, you can do that. I'm going to fold my mat a little bit more for my knees. So I'll guide you through it again. Take it step by step, hands behind you. Preserve the space in your lower back. Lift the back ribs up. If you need to, grab the rib cage again if you need to kind of feel that lift up. When you're ready, start to lift the chest. So try to draw the sternum up to the ceiling as much as you can before you start that coiling. And then breathing. Maybe the other hand goes back first this time, but you try to remain neutral. Maybe you find the heels. Maybe you find the blocks. Maybe your hands stay at the back body. Maybe you lift the chest higher, lean the head back just enough that you find that extension. It doesn't feel like it's suffering. Inner thighs rolling back, imaginary block between them. Take it slow to come out of it just as slowly as you came in. Hands support the back body, lifting all the way to neutral. Take your arms next to you. Sit back onto your heels. And then maybe shift a little side to side. All right, the hard part is done. Let's come to sit. Move slowly. Find a comfortable seat. You can sit on your mat folded up. You can sit on a blanket, towel, something like that. I'm going to turn to face you. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. And then once you have a nice tall seat, keep your right leg extended, bend your left knee, bring it onto the mat. Seal that foot, and then if you need to, you can walk it just a little over to the side. You can open it out a little bit. You're going to bring your left elbow to the inside of the knee. And then without the knee, or the elbow pushing the knee out, glue the two together. Don't let the knee push the elbow past center. Place the right hand behind you to prop you up. Sit even taller and slide your right heel forward, lengthen through the heel. On your exhale, keep elbow and knee pressing. Use that action to turn to the right. So sit even taller. Try to lengthen through the crown of the head as you rotate, twisting over the side. Take another inhale. As you exhale, rotate to face forward. Now, unhook, bring your left arm behind you. Stretch your right arm to the ceiling. Sit even taller as you inhale. As you exhale, now twist to the left. Either wrap and hug that knee, or maybe cross the elbow outside and hook. So even taller, send that extended leg forward, and then exhale as you twist. Use the back hand behind you to press into the ground. You can also press it into a block behind you if you're elevated a bit and need that floor seems a little far away. And then just take a couple more breaths. Slowly unwind from the twist, face forward, switch legs. Send your left leg forward, bend your right knee, foot onto the mat. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to start with the crossover version. Place the right hand behind you, prop you up, find a block, whatever you need. Inhale, left arm to the ceiling, reach and sit taller. Exhale, twist to the right, hook the elbow, or hug the knee, whichever version you took just a moment ago. Keep your front foot flexed, and then keep the right foot pressing to the ground. Sit taller, maybe turn a little further. See if you can relax the shoulders, but keep the spine long. Each breath maybe deepens the twist. And then as you exhale, unwind facing forward, switch hands behind you. And then bring that elbow to the inside of the knee. Maybe walk the foot to the side a little bit if you need to give yourself space. So once again, don't let one of them win. Try to remain the two glued together. Sit up tall, inhale, and then exhale, twist back over to the left. And when you're ready, slowly release, unwind, and then unhook. Send that leg forward to meet the left. Take a moment, shift a little side to side. And then once you're back to center, give a nice strong flex of the feet. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. So. And then sit up nice and tall. Once again, something under the seat. Place your hands next to your sides, palms or fingertips. Dandasana. So you're going to inhale and lengthen upward. Draw the shoulders back. Try to sit as tall as you can while sending the heels out away from the hips, lengthening through both legs. Keep this nice tall seat. Slowly stretch your arms out, palms up. Keep lifting higher and higher away from the ground. Inhale, arms up. Take it slow. Exhale. Take your time to tip forward. The slower you go, the more you'll feel a stretch along the back body. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching forward until you can't reach any further forward. And then slowly lean towards the ground. So maybe a strap or a towel will help you to reach for your feet. Maybe you can reach the toes or the feet, or even the calves or ankles. And then with every breath, let yourself fold a little further over the legs. So feel the entire back body stretch. Maybe if it feels nice, draw the chin slowly toward the chest as well, just bowing in over the legs. Take an inhale and slowly lift all the way back upright to sit. Once you're upright, start to make your way back onto your back. Give yourself the next half a minute to a minute and consider maybe taking another happy baby pose. Maybe take a brief hip stretch. Once you're on your back, maybe a brief little thread the needle. If you'd like to kind of get into the hip, one leg crosses over, grabbing the opposite thigh. Maybe you're taking another happy baby pose. Maybe you're taking another little gentle twist. Any other movement that your body is craving right now. So before you get into Shavasana, give yourself the next half a minute. If you're doing a hip stretch, switch sides. Give yourself a few breaths on the other side. And then starting to release from whatever pose, whatever stretch you're doing. Coming into Shavasana, maybe you're laying onto your back with your legs extended. Maybe your legs are elevated. They could be on a chair, on the couch. You can use blankets, bolsters, whatever you have available. Make yourself comfortable. Find a position that feels good for your body. Do whatever you need to do to get there. And once you are there, once you feel settled, you feel grounded, close your eyes. Take one inhale here through the nose and let your mouth open. Let a sigh escape your lips and then let go completely. Allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to find rest, to find calm, to find peace in your Shavasana.
And to reawaken yourself. Take your time to bring yourself back, wiggle fingers and toes. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead, reach behind you. And bend your knees, let your feet come onto the mat. And then take your time as you slowly roll over from your back to your side. And then begin to press all the way upright to sit. Once you're back to seated, bring the hands to the heart. And sealing your practice today, close your eyes once more as you sit tall on your mat. Take an inhale, let your heart lift to your hands. With your exhale, gently bow your head toward your fingertips. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed class. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. It's nice to see you. I hope you have a great night. Bye. I was kicked out. Oh my gosh, someone else logged in.
What?
I mean, I noticed after I got up from Shavasana, I didn't see the screen anymore and it said someone else logged in. So someone logged in while during Shavasana. So I guess it just ended. No, that's not my fault.
No, it's not. I want to let Christine know so she can maybe let people know to keep a
Yeah.
Be courteous and don't log in while
Yeah.
make sure everyone knows the freaking schedule.
Who was that? Let me see. Today's Thursday. Alexia. Okay, you're an idiot, Alexia.
Well, it may not have been her, maybe it's someone else testing things
Yeah.
out. So don't blame Alexia. She doesn't deserve that. She's a good person.
Yeah, she's a nice person. She does seem kind of flaky though. I don't know. Also, am I crazy or did I just teach that entire class cueing the wrong side?
I don't know.
Because it dawned on me as I was almost halfway into the class that I'm looking and I was like, wait, is this, I don't think I needed to mirror, but I don't remember if it was like that on Tuesday. This whole, the video thing and the flip-flopping, it's just messing with my mind.
Okay. If you
I'm
want,
so frustrated.
you can do some practice videos.
Well, is
we can
it the
record them.
same in this as it is with the, where do you pull up just the video? Is it here?
What are you talking about?
When you were just had the video from the computer.
So I'll tell you right now. So go to the magnifying glass. Type quick. It's going to be quick time. And enter. So it pulls up this file browser. You don't want this because this is basically it's like, oh, you want to open up a video. No, we want to record one. So hit cancel. Go to file. New what we're recording. And this activates the camera and
Okay, so that's what I thought. This is flipped. The one I was recording was not. So if I'm holding my right hand up, if I look at it, my hand should be over here on the other one. So I probably did it wrong on Tuesday as well. Oh. Yeah, I didn't need to mirror the entire time. So probably confusing everyone.
Honey, don't worry about it. Fine. Oh. Hi, Blue. Blue. Hi, good boy. Hello. Love you. Blue. So,
Okay, let me do this.
we got, you know,
We pull up Zoom and log in not under Prima, under.
so yeah, we can create a Zoom meeting and not use Prima. And we can record it for sure. But I would ping Christine and say, okay, I think someone logged in and kicked me off.
Hi, are you on? Come on, man.